maybe they're dump touching, maybe they're not really keeping the tension of the shirt well to where that range of motion is. All right, creating that dump touch, trying to force positioning. Hey guys, Coach Ben here, bigbenchas.com. And I'm going to talk a little bit about board pressing for the shirted lifter. All right, so if you're working in a bench shirt, there's some pros to using the boards, and then there's some cons. Now, I particularly, if you would have asked me earlier in my career, I was much more of a fan of boards. However, as the years progress, I've gotten away from the boards. You fine-tune your technique in the shirt. You start to get away from the boards. You realize if you rely on the boards, once they're gone, you don't have them to rely on anymore. You can't have bad habits. You need to know how to groove the shirt. So if you ask me now, I'm much more towards staying away from the boards. However, we definitely utilize boards with our athletes for sure. And I'm gonna tell you why we do and then why we stay away from them. So some of the pros, let's talk about the positives to benching with the boards. All right, it's great for shirt breaking. It's not a necessity for shirt breaking. You can break in a shirt by floating your reps, and by floating I mean just stopping at a designated point. All right, so as soon as the shirt locks up, not trying to force any more range, right? We cut it there, we press back. Okay, we go to where the shirt allows us to go. So we don't necessarily need boards. However, boards give a unit of measurement of where you're getting the shirt to. It also gives you something to aim for. So if you're breaking in a shirt without utilizing boards, you don't have a designated stop point because you're just kind of stopping in a point in the range of motion. You don't have anything to shoot for, okay? Also, you don't really have that unit of measurement. Maybe you can look at a video and see, hey, I was lower this week than last week, but boards are an easy unit of measurement, right? We could be at a 2 board last week, maybe we get down to a 1 board this week, and then finally the chest. Okay, so break-in boards are great for that. Tricep strength. Nothing's gonna build brutally strong triceps like doing some board work, okay? Because the board doesn't necessarily allow you to load into the shirt fully. So we're not really catching that benefit of being able to stretch that shirt, right? If you have a high board, you're not able to really fully stretch into that shirt, so it's mostly on your tricep lockout power. So it's a great way to develop your triceps and to develop that lockout power, which many lifters do need. And this is why we keep boards in for our lifters, predominantly these 2 reasons: breaking in a shirt and or lockout power. The cons to board pressing, okay? So there's definitely some bad things that can happen from board pressing. All right, you can't establish a good groove. You can't really practice technique. Like I just mentioned with tricep strength, right, we can't really fully load into the shirt. So we're never grooving that full range. We're never really loading the shirt how it should be. We're not really utilizing the tuck and the finesse of getting that touch, all right? Also kind of preluding already to the shirt loading. Both those things, okay? Being able to actually catch a benefit from using the shirt. The shirt is designed to, 1, protect us, but 2, to add weight to the bar. We need weight to actually push through the shirt, so we need to load up that tension into the shirt to catch that rebound. And we're not gonna get that with boards. And in terms of the groove, again, we're just not gonna train that full range, and there's a lot that happens full range. If you're used to pressing off of 1 board, and then you never do any touching before the meet, first time you go into the meet and you go full range for the first time, you're in for a rude awakening because you never practiced that. There's a big difference between even a half board and then full range. Okay, you need to be prepared for the groove in full range. All right, so who do we use board pressing with? An athlete who doesn't have bad habits to the board, who will ride the groove very similar to if they didn't have the board, and maybe they need more lockout power. I'm gonna use boards more frequently with that athlete. If I have an athlete who has bad habits when they touch the boards, maybe they're dump touching, maybe they're not really keeping the tension of the shirt well to where that range of motion is, all right, creating that dump touch, trying to force positioning. Maybe they're sloppy off the boards. It's not a good pause. It's like a quick touch, and it's not good control there. All right, I'm probably not gonna have them do much board pressing. All right, I'm probably gonna have them float majority of their training, okay? So if they're in a tight shirt, then we're probably just gonna work on lighter weight, grooving that shirt. And if they're in a looser shirt, we're gonna do a lot of volume with a full range of motion, which helps tremendously. And why I recommend for a shirted bencher, have a looser shirt, one that you can take full range with lighter weight and get that volume in. You know, think about how you train raw. You know, you do sets of 5. We can do sets of 5 in a shirt too. You just need a loose enough shirt so that you can maneuver it down with light enough weight. You don't want such a tight shirt where you need over your max to actually get down to touch. Okay, save that for the meet. Get a looser shirt to work that groove. So there you go, guys. Board pressing. You gotta beware of board pressing. You gotta know if you're someone who's gonna benefit from boards. Have a coach look at your lifts. If you don't have a good understanding of what you're doing to the boards, to make sure that they're appropriate for you, that you aren't creating bad habits, because bad habits takes the time to get out of. We want to avoid them completely. All right, so board pressing has its place, but you got to be wary of it. Coach Ben here. You know where to find me. You can meet me at the whiteboard next to the bench. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel over here. Check out the links in the description box below. You can see a video related on this topic right here, and then our latest video right there. Thanks for watching.